exactly what I was looking for.
Yep.
Somebody that's going to jump on top of these guys, going to blow them up, especially a hard counter against Pugna. Such a massive mana pool. He's like a little nuke running around in there.
Yeah.
A little package of C4 among his team. Big boom.
You have no catch on the side of Omegalil. Like
Yeah.
your spirit, yeah, fine. Like you can roll on top of AM, perhaps silence him with the stones, but that's
Wow,
like-
what? Okay, sure. I mean, they need catch. This is AM. Yeah, I guess AM does get bashed, sure. From
you have those pesky little nets as well,
Sure,
and you have Basher, perhaps on Troll at some point. You play on a little bit of a faster tempo overall with Troll, especially now when you have Enchantress Pugna, you are able to pressure towers too. Eventually, AM does scale out of control here. That
Of course.
There's that early late game part of the game in which Anti-Mage just dominates. There we go, some disarm.
Sure.
That's pretty decent versus Troll in the lane. One
Yep.
of the better heroes versus him.
Typically not a fan of Pangolier in this patch from what we've been seeing, but against this draft, it could be extremely good.
You have a lot of nuking potential on the
Right.
laning stage as well. You have Rubik Fatebolt plus Swashbuckle. It's actually pretty decent versus Troll overall in the game. Later on, you have that Rolling Thunder versus the Pugna. You can get in very deep together with your AM and Ember.
Lizard, you're a smart guy. Can you help me shit talk a guy that was in my pub last night?
Sure.
I'm in this pub playing techies with Pangolier. Get this Pango 4 kills in the lane. Then he says he loses the game. He never rotates. And I say, Pango, you're supposed to rotate and kill people. And after you get ahead, and he says, Pango, don't do that. I'm the support. He didn't buy a single support item, by the way. But
Wait. He was the support?
that's what he claimed. But if Pango's job is to accelerate and then go nuke people down and kill them,
That's
right?
literally what you're meant to be doing,
Thank you!
boy. What is
Pickle
this?
Rick 69.
What the
Thank
hell
you
is
for
this?
not.
You're a support Pango. Of course you're supposed to be rotating. What else are you supposed to
What
be doing?
else do you do?
Are you gonna push towers? Are you gonna take Rush, boy?
Nothing. Anyway,
Oh, gank!
so
God
yes,
damn it.
Pango's
a
job
good name, though.
is to gank and to get on top of people and destroy them, in which he'll do well in this
shit.
game. Stupid idiot.
Pickle Rick.
Oh my.
Hey, what?
All right.
Hey.
Good versus Troll, good versus Pugna, good versus Enchantress. When it comes to the lane, it can be a bit bad with the AM. It's also not the greatest laning support if laned versus Enchantress. It's alright versus Earth Spirit, I suppose, but
I see.
overall, I'm not sold on the AA pick.
I'm kind of feeling it. I mean, so you have Ember that goes in, Pango that goes in. As long as AA lands that ultimate, literally everyone on their team dies. It's not the worst thing in the world against Troll. Does the thing actually kill Troll? This
Sure.
fight? The Ice Blast, if he does his ult?
It's gonna kill him, man.
I'm not sure. I think,
He's gonna live through it, but he's gonna die if he doesn't heal up on the end.
sure. Okay, whatever. But I can see where they're going with. They have a lot of potential to get those pick-offs,
Oh, man,
but it's hard to execute.
Omegalil, again, like, in this game, they have the easier draft to execute. When you look at
Yeah.
this draft, it's just easy. You see all the pieces, how they form together a solid formation that can take towers, that has late game potential. On the side of Cyberium Seed, yeah, you have that with the Ember and the Anti-Mage, but it's so quirky. Like
It is.
you're like, you really have to outplay to go ahead in this laning stage and then later on reach that potential for the Anti-Mage.
That's why so many teams are staying away from guys like Pangolier and even AA, is because it's so essential to land those skillful things. If you mess up, it's hard. Why take the chance and pick guys that could possibly mess up? How do you mess up as an inch?
Yeah.
You click on a guy and do massive damage.
Remember like 5 years ago when Kunkka X marks the spot into Torrent was the combo to execute
Right,
properly? You know, like it became a standard part of this game that you have to be able to do every single time, 100%. While Pango, he's still kinda, okay, I can mess up in these fights.
Yeah.
And the odds going to be in favor of Omegalil as well on EGB.com. And with a lineup like this, it seems like our analysts are also going to be in favor of this lineup. The question is, are they going to be able to pull it off? It does seem like it has the ease of execution on its side as well. You've already started to outline some of the ways that you could potentially see Seed manage to take this one down. What are the main things to be looking for at home, Lizard?
Yeah, if you're Cyberium Seed, your Ember needs to have a decent start to create enough space for this Anti-Mage to come online eventually. If you're Omegalil, this is a default game of Dota. Go and push towers, have a normal laning stage. You don't have to do anything exceptional at all.
Just play the game.
Just play the game. The draft plays itself pretty much.
All right, well, let's see if that draft's going to be enough to have them take this series. This game is going to decide it, as finally we are in the bracket here in Divine.
Hello, welcome back to another cast. This is going to be Omegalil versus Cyberium Seed. Game 3, Troll versus Anti-Mage. Who wins that matchup?
Can I just point out, your intro is made so much better by the very soft moaning of Sir Action Slacks in the background. Oh no, 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 no.
Get out of here already.
I wish they could have picked up on that. Oh my god. This looks like a just terrible lineup for Cyberium Seed. I do not have faith that they're going to be able to put together a whole lot of team fighting at all. I think that they are going to be incredibly reliant on Pango doing a good job in this game, but I don't think he has a very good setup whatsoever. I think he's got a lot of abilities that he has to worry about in being able to get off Rolling Thunder in the first place. That is one of the hardest issues with Pango, is being able to swashbuckle in and still get off Rolling Thunder unimpeded. I think his lane is also going to be somewhat difficult. I think your matchup against Troll can be okay. Because you have Lucky Shot, you can be really helpful in team fights. But in the laning phase specifically, you don't do anything to Troll. Troll just harasses you over and over again. And I don't think Rubik is going to be enough to offset that.
Sure, yeah, I could see that. And you know, as Slacks' teammate did point out in the pub, Pango not so good at snowballing and roaming. Uber taking a lot of damage here, does use the nuke, but it doesn't prevent that much damage at level 1 now. And a big nuke coming out from the Enchantress, but it is level 1 only, so it is not that big.
Gotta say, I love that story from Sir Action Slacks, the funniest shit I've ever heard. It's quite good. But yeah, the Troll versus Animage matchup, not very fun for Animage for a lot of obvious reasons. Troll has this really good ensnare against you. He can actually man up against the Animage. Animage, if he ever gets the initiation, he burn down a Troll's mana and nuke him down? Well, he doesn't have that much mana pool to work with anyway, so it's not going to be that big of a nuke. Eventually, you're going to get Abyssal Blade against the AM, in which case AM has to play really well around his spell shield to block the Abyssal active, but there's still the ensnare as well as the bash passives that are quite good. I feel like Cyberium Seed, they've not only put themselves on a time limit because they have to be able to win with Animage around like 35 minutes when he's supposed to be like 2 items ahead of the Troll, but they also need to be able to fight 4 versus 5, and I look at it and I just think this is a pretty dream Earth Spirit game. He is incredibly disruptive to Ember Spirit and Pango. He's got 2 squishy backline heroes that he's good against as well.
Literally everyone, actually. Oh,
yeah.
Anti-Mage, though, if he does fall, the timing is really hindered up here. I mean, especially because Pugna, I think this is the only hero that can really feed the Anti-Mage.
And already the laning phase is off to a bad start. It was a race to see which side lane was going to get first blood for Omegalil.
It seems like Omegalil, man, they really did not like that first game. They are coming in strong on this one. They are furious. Look at the damage from Lil here. Just, I'm going to right-click you until you run into your tower.
And then, yeah, as you said, Earth Spirit, really good at being able to hunt down Animage, right? He's got this long-range initiation. His abilities are AoE, so you don't have to worry about the spell shield. All around, just good stuff. Yeah. I will be pleasantly surprised if Cyberium Seed does manage to pull out the win. Again, I think it's going to come down a lot to individual play. I think that Lil Pleb actually does have to get involved in some fights. He can't be totally AFK because I don't think Cyberium's 4-man is strong enough to win fights. And again, we're going to need both the Ember Spirit and the Pango to have individually incredible performances and not get caught by the multitude of traps and ensnares and silences that are going to be headed their way.
I think one or the other needs to snowball, and it looks like it might not be this bot lane Pango just because the Rubik keeps dying in the lane, so it's difficult to have a solid time. Ember does seem like he's doing very well, though, and if an Ember can make enough space for the AM, as you mentioned, he needs to show up to fights. He's got a Pugna to mana break in the fights. So, I mean, this hero can kill his entire team. It's the highest in-game gain hero in the game. So, it's not impossible.
It's just difficult, right?
It's hard to execute.
You've got counterplays if you're the Pug9, right? You're going to be able to decrepify yourself when the AM jumps on you. And so if you're fast enough in that, like he's not going to have a basher very quickly. He jumps on you in Mantas. If you can get off the decrepify pretty quickly, you can mitigate a lot of that damage.
Can he get the root? No, he cannot. 2 hits.
Still though, Sam TP'd all the way back to the base. He had plenty of regen still in his inventory, so the play was probably to TP to the tier 1, otherwise he misses out on so much. The reason he went gone on, though, is that as 4 minutes come up, the 4 position naturally wants to be able to rotate and protect the power runes, especially in a matchup that is pretty even and is very often determined by what power runes are picked up.
Right, and they also TP'd mid to fill up his bottle as well, so Mastermind getting a double bottle refill there. Gets the kick off. There's no silence, though, from Lil.
2 seconds till his blink is up. I don't think it's fast enough.
Oh, man.
Really good read by Lil, seeing that opportunity.
Wow, you do not want a Pugna to be killing an anti-mage. This is a counter. Like, Pugna is supposed to feed this lane.
Yeah.
So the nuke comes out from the Satyr. That does take away Samsam's only salve. So this bot lane is going hugely in favor of Omegalil. They're getting solo zoned by an Enchantress here. He jumps in. That seems a little bit crazy, but maybe Enchantress will actually die here. I think the return kill will happen, though.
Yeah, that's probably worth it. I mean, I guess if I'm Sam and my lane's going really poorly and I have an opportunity to be able to reset and bring more regen into lane, I don't feel terrible about it, but obviously they've already dug themselves into a nasty hole, and it's going to be hard to climb out of. 2,000 net worth lead already.
He blinked in, so he might just die here to the right clicks. He's got 9 seconds left of the blink.
You don't have a support that plays with you.
This support is also at 20% HP. He might die as well. The roll is up in 4 seconds. They want to get the anti-mage kill. This is the most important one. He actually does survive, but I think...
Blind roll. Oh, okay.
Oh, he's going to die. Lil, can he survive? He's got some fairy fires. Use the decrepify, prevent a little bit of that physical damage. Sunlight putting the pressure onto Mastermind here with another support in the lane. So 1v2, that is not something that you like to see if you're a Cyberium Seed fan.
Yeah, the funny thing about this Ember Spirit Kunkka matchup, right, is that Kunkka is able to put a bunch of physical damage on Ember, but he has no way to remove the Flame Guard.
Double-edged.
Yeah, so it just becomes a really interesting positioning battle. I find this one of the more interesting melee-on-melee matchups right now.
Does Mastermind not have any levels in Searing Chains? It looks like he does not. So can't really kill Sunlight there when he makes an aggressive move like that. Although Puber,
yeah,
maybe he's a little too aggressive.
X-torrented into the roll. Really nice combo that we're going to see quite a lot of in this game.
Fairy Fire is really coming in handy here with these kills. It looks like Omegalil is about to die, and one of their heroes to pop a Fairy Fire. Not quite enough.
Yeah, and Sunlight, he's such a good answer to the Animage once you get those higher levels of X and you're able to, especially at nighttime, you're able to X him like before you even come into vision, so he doesn't really have a counterplay whatsoever. And then that X is set up into not just the Torrent boat combination, it's also into the Earth Spirit that's going to look really good.
Silence, plenty of time for the root to come out as well. It is a lot. And Sam, he does not have his Swashbuckle. A lot of these heroes in this game just using their mobility abilities to get some CS and harass, but taking so much damage as a result.
Immediately getting punished for it.
Look at this big double wave with the catapult too. This is the most important thing here is the catapult survives. Luckily, Rubik is in position to de-push a little bit though. Anti-Mage on the top lane, he gets mana drain, he gets sucked. It's not a mana drain, that's a life drain. Lil, although Mastermind, he comes in, he doesn't have the shield on, so Lil's not taking too much damage, but he's got high points in his W ability, so diving in, he's going to have another nuke, and yeah, he's dead.
Honestly, not that terrible, because he forced a rotation out of Mastermind and bought a ton of time. This is something the Mastermind's going to have to do, though. Just pretty classically, if you're going to lose your side lanes this hard, your mid has to come in and try and change the nature of the game.
It's true.
The static laning phase is terrible, and he just kind of has to try and get as much done as possible.
It's such a... Oh, Puber. Oh, man. He's getting boated. Torrent to follow up. Doesn't hit. Doesn't really seem like it's needed. Body block to come up from the Enchantress. Giving the last hit to the Kunkka. Very nice.
No, giving the last hit to his Satyr.
Creep, actually. Okay, well...
he was microing his hero and forgot that his Satyr was auto-attacking.
Defeat the purpose to some degree, but I respect the attempt at being a good support.
Yeah.
Sam just desperately trying to get that level 6 so he can get active. Malik in the trees. He does run away, so he doesn't get those cold feet procced on him. He's totally out of mana, though. And Lil Pleb is chasing. He wants to go for the ultimate ability.
If he spots him, he's totally out of mana. If he gets off the ultimate, I think that just blows him up. Just needs the vision.
No raindrop. He should be dead. Sunlight comes in, though, to protect him. Malik is juking in the trees. Okay, he's got the silence on the Earth Spirit, so it's enough. Possibly.
God,
Not.
finally.
Lil Pleb gets the kill. Doesn't matter with all the juking. He's got the wand bait. They thought they would get him. Sunlight has to rotate. This does mean the bot tower falls. AA TP's in. Sam is still level 5, so Mastermind's TP rotation doesn't look like it's going to do much, but he does have an Arcane Rune. No Searing Chains, but he'll slowly harass away here.
Were you there for that stat? I'm not sure if I was casting with you. When the offlane tower is taken first?
No, I heard you say that, though.
Yeah.
That's
70% win rate on either side. And again, it is not that interesting of a stat. It pretty much just says, if your lane goes so shit that you actually lose the off-lane tower instead of what is the normal rotations of the safe lane carry, rotating into their own triangle or moving into the enemy safe lane to take towers, you trade off. Like, if that doesn't, that whole process doesn't happen, if instead you lose the off-lane tower before the safe lane carry even rotates around and finds better places to farm, then you are in serious trouble.
Right. It's like says something about the nature of the game, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like that old stat that red wine, people that drink red wine are healthier, but it's because the people that can afford to drink red wine are rich and can afford healthcare. And it's like, oh, well, okay, well, within that context, that makes a lot of sense. It's not a causation, but it does tell you something. It's a fun stat. TP coming in from the bot lane on the Kunkka. So they want to defend this. I mean, it is an anti-mage. It's not like this is a full siege here or anything. Does get the X off on himself. Mastermind is sitting behind the tower. He's seeing if there's any sort of setup that he can do here. Sam has the ultimate. They use the Searing Chains to set up. Can he get the bounces? It's a long roll. This is a good place to fight, though, for Pangolier. It looks like the boat is going to be possibly enough to protect him, but no. Mana Break comes out.
Oh, and he caught Happy, too.
Gets a silence. Suck coming out from the Pugna, but the Pugna's totally out of mana. Mastermind, he's super low. Troll comes in, picks up the kill. Lil Pleb, he doesn't have mana. He used the wand. He does have mana. The Ice Blast comes in, hits onto one.
Oh, I wish they had turned around and gotten aggressive in that moment. That might have been a sick little double kill.
Very close, but very close.
The nature of that fight and why it went wrong for Omegalil, it's just greedy to try and defend your safe lane tower the way they did. One of the hard parts about defending a safe lane tower is the setup in the first place of the team fight. Because what happens is as an enemy invades into the safe lane, they're able to easily wrap behind the tower, right? And you're stuck in this little island while they have full control over where the fight actually occurs. So as a result, if you're going to defend a safe lane tower, you need to actually make sure you're there early and you're there in numbers. Otherwise, what happens is you just kind of get picked apart one by one.
The staggered TPs is a big issue.
It's a really big issue.
With the mid lane, there's a tier 2 you can TP to that's really close. Mastermind gets caught out with the X Torrent, gets silenced up by the Earth Spirit, but it's only a level 1 silence, so it doesn't look like it's enough. There is Sunlight diving the tower. He's got the AA Blast on him. The Swashbuckle misses. He gets decrepified. He's still got the Blast on him, though, so he does tick down eventually. And, okay, Pango roll in the river. Always a nice place to roll. Gets the Searing Chains out. Okay, Pugna, he has got the Decrepify very soon, but there's magic damage, possibly. Kellen comes in. Mastermind, he looks to commit. Suck comes out on the creep. Decrepify comes out. He is keeping himself alive for just barely a large amount of time. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. The fights are going on way too long.
Classic stumble, man. It happens to everybody. You know, you're just like, oh god, the action's happening faster than my brain can get the words out.
Happening on the screen. Torrent comes out from Sunlight onto Mastermind. Physical damage. That's all he's got, though. Boat comes out. He uses the Remnant. Can he time it? It's pretty easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a quick and easy
counter. I feel like Omegalil's not really respecting the damage output of Cyberium Seed if they get the nice setup. Ice Blast is really good against their lineup. They just kind of respect the setup of these team fights. They're just kind of like barreling into Cyberium Seed saying, oh, we won the laning phase, we're so much stronger than them. But now they've kind of thrown away that lead. As you can see, they're up by 4K by 10 minutes.
Right.
And now it's down to 1K at 13.
Yeah, they have no pipe carry. I think that's a big issue, but what do I know? I'm a play-by-play caster. What do you think the biggest issue is for Omegalil diving in these fights here?
I think the fact that they're not, it's very easy for Pango as well as Ember Spirit to be able to set up their kind of like poke under the protection of a tier 1 tower. They can get a lot some of their poke damage. All of a sudden, like, oh look, Kunkka's down to 400 HP. We can commit. They get that 1 kill, and then it just like translates into more and more.
So the ward comes out, so this is a really nice smoke onto the Troll. He does have the ulti available. Let's see, the Ice Blast comes out. Do they have enough damage to burst him? If he thinks he's going to get nuked again, maybe he pops the ult. But he just trusts he has enough armor to survive that. Pango almost sniped him there, but it wasn't close enough. Sunlight, he gets the X out onto the AA. That seems like it's a bit of an easy target. Team protects them, though. They're protecting their supports. They watched Owie's video. Okay, Malik comes in. The net comes out from the Enchantress creep. I hear a roll. It's on the back lines. It's on the Rubik. Silence comes out. Pango has the roll up, but he gets rooted by the Troll. And on the back line, Lil is in. He is making sure these supports can't do anything in the fight. And in fact, he still has the ulti going on all of them. Malik comes in with another ulti, but it's a double suck. And not the way that you would think. There's so much sucking going on. Okay, we have Troll on the mid lane. Another AA blast coming in. It doesn't quite connect with him. I think if that did, he probably would have died.
Yeah, it was a really interesting triangle of suck there. You know, normally you expect the suck to be between two
forth,
people, right?
Yeah, but there was like a...
There was a third party involved in that.
A trifecta,
yeah.
right. Somebody was in the middle, like a sandwich. Okay, Mastermind gets caught with the X, but once again, this is not a good hero to X. It's very easy for him to dodge. Sam, he jumps over the edge with the roll, bouncing around in the river. Unfortunately, goes up the hill, so he doesn't get the second stun onto the Pugna, who is decrepified, so he takes a lot more damage from that anti-mage ult, even though he didn't have that much mana that he was losing. He was missing.
So before that fight, what Omegalil, they actually made a nice adjustment, right? When they had the X on the Ancient Apparition, I think before they would have overcommitted to that.
Yeah.
Because it would have been like, free kill, let me just run in and do my thing. They actually waited on the high ground, waited for their team to actually get there as 5 before they committed to a team fight. And that's what made the first part of that team fight look so good. And once again, they approached that tier 1 tower. It's a really good place for Pango to be able to fight around. Not only is the river really nice, but also you feel like you have more setup time to be able to get your Rolling Thunder off, right? Because it's hard for people to be in close range because they don't want to be underneath a tower.
Oh, the Orchid.
The early Orchid.
The Kunkka, he's got the Orchid. I've seen people do this in pubs, not in competitive so far. But the raindrop definitely helps. The shield definitely helps. Unfortunately, once again, same as the last game, Ember a little bit too farmed to die to the burst damage.
It does mean Sunlight is committing to a course of action that if they get their first round of pretty decent items, like the Ember Spirit needs his Yule Scepter, then this Orchid may not pay off a whole lot of dividends, and it looks like a really nasty, just kind of garbage item for a Kunkka.
This is true. Pango will typically build Purge, so will Ember, so will Anti-Mage. All of these heroes have some way of taking the Orchid off. So really, it's just about getting the kills right now.
Yeah.
So the roll does come out. He connects with the Torrent. That was just the Torrent without the X. X comes in after. There's still the Silence. Malik has the Suck, and he dies to the boat.
The devil to pay.
Fighting in the river. Kunkka, he is a pirate. You can't do that. Kellen, he comes in hot. Okay, he's on to the Chinese characters guy. Picks him off just like that. Very easy. I don't even think he popped the ulti. I think he just blew him up with some right clicks.
That's all he needs. Unfortunate for the Pango, because he got caught. He was positioning himself as Mastermind and Ancient Apparition were smoked together. So he thought, they were going to be able to sandwich onto somebody.
A little bit too early.
He's the one who got sandwiched.
Right,
yeah.
That happens. With the Pugna, with the Troll, definitely easy to take this. They have the Enchantress to tank up the Roche as well.
Wow.
And
third game, and we finally get a Roche on.
Finally!
It finally happened.
Look at this. This is cool. So they're giving solo XP to the Troll, it looks like.
Yeah.
That's super interesting. They think him snowballing is really good. Rubik, he gets sucked. Hubert taking a lot of damage. And in the river, Mastermind actually died. I don't know how that happened. I think he probably got Orchided. Roll comes out from Sam, so that is now on cooldown. Troll with the Aegis. He's totally confident just walking up this high ground here with Malik to follow.
And this is the really scary part of the game for Cyberium Seed. We said, at some point in time, it's going to be hard for them to fight as a 4-man into Omegalil. And this is where you just classically, the Anti-Mage isn't involved yet, and he has to keep farming up. And
good positioning for him, though. Being in position to cut the wave. If he's stuck in the base there, it's very scary. But he's actually in a very good spot. Lil Pleb is playing this quite well.
This is how you really expose the fact that Omegalil do want to be able to play a lot more grouped up and just kind of bulldoze into the enemy to be able to play off of this Pugna and his pushing power. You have to just constantly be cutting creep waves. The scary part is they still have to catch. right? Because the Earth Spirit and the Kunkka represent such good catch against an Anti-Mage.
Especially with the Orchid on Kunkka as well. Like, you don't have the Manta style yet on Anti-Mage, so you have to be very careful you don't get caught out by that.
So if you notice, whenever like the Earth Spirit, like Sunlight was showing himself, and I believe Earth Spirit was showing himself on the mid ward when he cut the wave.
Right.
And then once he's off map, once the Earth Spirit's off map again,
Back
he doesn't
to
really
his side
feel
of
the
the map.
yeah, he
Yeah.
feels back to his side of the map, but also like he doesn't cut the creep wave anymore and plays more off the neutrals.
Yep, so good on Lil for not showing, good on Lil Pleb for reading that. Hubert gets gone on
Oh,
in the
whoa, that
tier
was
3 tower.
Jeez.
Yeah, Enchantress, I think, tried to heal himself there, and he just dies to the stolen Pugna Ward, I
Yeah,
believe.
that's what it was.
Anti-Mage does go for the cut. Earth Spirit's there, though. Lil sees him.
If he's gonna blink into the enemy, he's gonna blink right into the open arms of Sunlight.
Okay, throws out the boat onto the Anti-Mage. I think with the silence, he does have the follow-up from the Earth Spirit. It's low level, though, so it's possibly not enough. And the ulti, he connects with another rock, though.
He's gonna have to need. Oh, okay, never mind.
Right into Kella, though. He connects with Kella.
Yeah,
Most importantly,
he just kept on stumbling into
troll.
more heroes.
Oh, no. I mean, great job, though, from Omegalil reading his moves there.
Yep.
I mean, that's the thing, is I think a lot of people, you have experience with this type of anti-mage. If you've played Dota over the last 2 to 3 years, this hero's been pretty popular. Yeah, everybody does the creep
Hey,
cutting
if you
thing.
play Dota in the last 15, you probably know what anime
Oh, gets the range bash.
right?
Very nice. Easy AA kill. I just mean like this new age cutting style
True.
of anti-mage.
Yeah.
Like this is, it was only a few people doing that at the start, but now it's everybody.
Yep.
Torrent connects onto the Enchantress. It's a stolen Torrent, but Huber, I don't think it's going to be enough to save him here. The Troll's just doing way too much damage. He's actually got the Basher. He went Basher first item, just a hard counter the Anti-Mage. Now I don't think AM can ever fight him just with that itemization. I really like that, actually.
Can you imagine going back to a world of like really early Dota 2 or even Dota 1 days where the entire concept of cutting your creep wave, people just, you don't do that.
It didn't
That's
exist.
Not,
No.
That's not what you do.
I legit.
Hell, Dota 1 days, what you don't jungle.
I legitimately think if you were to cut creep wave at TI1 as an offlaner, you would just be the best offlaner of the world.
Yeah,
you would
probably.
possibly win TI1 because I mean you could do it on the first wave in TI1.
Yeah.
Like that's been nerfed for years now. Lil Pleb being very aggressive on the Earth Spirit here. I mean there's even a Pugna there too. He's still being quite aggressive, very confident in his ability to survive these fights. Except for the last one. didn't work out too well there.
Your admiral is on board.
Sunlight cutting the creep wave. 2,300 gold. We'll see what he goes for next. Maybe a halberd.
Illusion.
Yeah.
Maybe BKB.
I think Halberd will eventually be really nice. It's such a value stat item, but
You think that's true?
committing into the
even with nerf?
BKB and just being like, okay, at 25 minutes, we are guaranteed stronger than them in team fights. I think the 400 gold is costly for some heroes, but I think more so what it means is that heroes that aren't strength, it's a lot less value.
I see.
But just the stat buildup of Heaven's Halberd is still really good for all of the little things it gives you.
Mastermind, he does get caught, doesn't have that BKB, so the roll here might do enough damage. Pugna, he's glimmered. Gets, okay, Boat just to come out and protect from that AA damage. They do end up killing Lil, who rolls in a little bit too far. Troll comes in. I don't know if you want to fight this now. That's a level 16 Troll. He got a solo kill onto Roche. Torrent comes out, does not connect, unfortunately. I think this is good for Cyberium. You just get one kill. You're happy with this. The game has not been going so well for you. You've got an anti-mage timing that you're playing for.
Definitely good for Cyberium seed, but I actually think Lil saved that entire situation for Omegalil. Because in that situation, imagine, like, he had such a good Rolling Thunder. He was stunning up everybody. They had an Ice Blast on the Kunkka. Imagine if AM is able to commit onto the Pugna when he gets stunned. He gets off his ultimate. It hits the AoE of the Kunkka as well.
He might
they just
kill
lose everybody,
Yeah.
and their tier 1 tower gets taken. Because Lil went in deep and threatened the supports, it forced everybody else's attention back into that side and not into being offensive and joining in on the Pango's play.
True. Yeah, definitely. It's very convenient when that happens.
Yeah, similarly, though, you could say the same for the Pango, right? He disrupted the entirety of Kunkka and Pugna being able to play off of Lil's initiation.
Does end up getting the X into Orchid, but Pango does blink away. I hear some spells being cast. Okay, it's on the backline. Mastermind, he has to use the Yules. He does have a DD. If he comes out of this, he can possibly do a lot of damage in this fight. Troll's not close enough to get the bash off. Anti-Mage, he's looking to go for the backlines. I hear a boat coming out. It looks like it's on some creeps. Pango blinks out, has the roll. Lil tries to catch him. Unfortunately, there is nothing you can do because the roll is the stun, not the other spell.
Yeah, remember when the kick was the stun?
That was good. Those were the good days.
An AoE in a line stun that was just pretty difficult to dodge.
It was so fast before, too.
Yeah.
It was insanely good. Because it's not, you know, it's your mobility ability, right? Now that you're stunning with the mobility ability, you have to choose between what you're doing with it. So I mean,
Omegalil doubling down on the BKBs with the Troll and Kunkka BKB. Cyberium Seed are just going to have to play for, like, initiating into a fight, baiting out the BKB, and then just playing away from
I think they have to, because all they have is magic damage right now. Sunlight comes in, he catches the blink, but it's with the X, so he's able to pull him back. Not enough damage to make him pop.
You can see with the Orchid, but he does hardly any damage.
Yeah,
you know?
probably can catch him again here, maybe?
The Sable is super nice. He just needs some other people to play off of.
Yeah, they literally leave him for the Enchantress, too. They all just walk away as soon as they catch him with that X there. Troll presses ult. He just wants to heal up with the Ancients. Okay, not looking to fight, I would imagine.
Yeah, when you got BKB, I think he just feels like Cyberium Seed can't fight into him in the first place.
Yeah, I feel
right?
that makes sense.
Like, how do they chain stun him in this case? He has to be surprised by Rolling Thunder, telekinesis into another Rolling Thunder.
It has to be a perfect Rolling Thunder.
It's just so unlikely for any of that to be happening.
He literally has to get like one of those bouncing off of walls perfectly Rolling Thunder, stunned 6 times.
Yeah.
I don't think he otherwise does enough damage. Mastermind gets caught out. He is Orchided. No Torrent to follow up. Just kind of annoying him here while he's trying to cut this wave. I really like what he's doing with this, though. Still playing aggressive despite that Orchid. Still keeping his presence out there on the map.
Yeah, same goes with the AM here as he's trying to take advantage of the fact that Omegalil want to be able to take this last remaining tower bottom, so he's cutting the wave mid, playing the triangle, and then cutting the wave top as well. And he even threatens to take the tier 1 mid, which is a nice play, forces out the glyph.
Okay, Troll catching Mastermind out here with Lil. He tries to set up with the Yules, but he misses by just a little bit. It looks like the bash is enough, though. Samsam needs to be careful, because even though he's rolling, he can get bashed up by the Troll. Orchid coming out, no ability to blink. He already used it, or it's on cooldown, because damage from heroes is a good thing. Well, Pleb, he is cutting, though. Doing a great job. I almost feel like some travels need to come out on somebody on Omegalil. Just deal with this. This is BS. Don't let him do this.
Or, at the same time, they might just be trying to force high ground and just force the AM back and
that works
kind of
too.
see what happens.
Sure.
Again, playing off of the fact that they've got this double BKB timing.
Yeah, that works as well.
It does come with, obviously, a risk attached to it, right? They could very easily, if they throw this team fight underneath the tier 3, then the AM, he catches up by like 5 minutes. You know,
Torrent into X, nice combo just to scout out there, but Sunlight gets X'd himself. He's going to be right in the enemy base. Maybe he's going to get cold feeded too, but he does have that BKB to work with.
That's perfect. They forced out a BKB, and they didn't need the AM for most of that. He only just now showed up because they know they want to be able to chase.
To go in. He sees that the BKB is wearing off. He catches him with the chains. Lil Pleb is level 20. He's got enough damage here to kill this Kunkka. 51 seconds on the sidelines.
So Lil Pleb wasn't going to join that fight whatsoever, right? He's farming away. He's saying, you guys can hold high ground. As soon as they get the X, they make the call. They're like, guys, we're going to be able to fight this. He gets pulled back in and uses his BKB. AM instantly TPs. He's like, holy shit. If they use their BKB and he's underneath the tier 3, we can chase these guys. That is the beauty of Cyberium's lineup, is they have such good chase.
Samsam uses the dust, does not connect with Malik, though. Unfortunately, using the roll, that would have been a great place to bounce there. Although Rubik does catch him, Anti-Mage is there, so the damage should be coming out. Yep, Mana Break comes out, big ulti, but he's in now, and he's getting bashed by a Troll. That's it. You can't jump into a Troll like that. That's the counter.
That is the counter
trying
indeed.
to get out, man. He's just... They see him on the tower.
I think he thought about cutting another creep wave because he was approaching the spawn time, but
he's going for the top wave. Helen is there.
Dangerous position he's in
Glimmered
for sure.
If he can get a range bash, I feel like that's what he needs to get. Yeah, he's too far away. Can't get a melee bash. Blink as well on the Pango. It's pretty easy for him to do this wave cutting shenanigans. I like the way that they're doing this on Cyberium. I think this is the way that they have to win the game.
Yeah.
Only way that they can win the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Ice Blast right as they're going into the Roshan pit. With the Ember, I think they're just hoping to be able to slow down Omegalil, kind of poke at them, prevent them from doing Rosh right away. But I don't think you're going to be able to really fight around this Roshan pit. And Kellen, he reads that as well. He's going for the Satanic, not completing his S and Y. Instead, just going for the full-out Satanic, which is pretty massive. And
Chantress walks up the hill, does get rolled, has the heal active, though, with the Glimmer Cape, so taking very little damage. Surprisingly tanky hero with the Magic Resist talent as well. Sam, he gets rolled on. It connects. It also connects with the Torrent. Very nice combo there. Roche is really low, so it looks like Omegalil are just using this as kind of a bait to fight. But they do get it because Troll, well, he can solo it.
This is one of what the best teams do right now. You'll see this from Secret, OG, like quite a lot, is that when they feel stronger, they'll very often go into the Roshan pit, but they're ready to jump out of the Roshan pit as soon as the enemy team kind of like, because it's hard. You have to scramble to get to the Roshan pit. You're very oftentimes out of position. It's a good way to force a team fight. Yep. Against the enemy. Don't commit for the Roshan. That could be disastrous. What if you're in a bad position, they jump in, they take Roshan kill as well as the Aegis, you could lose that fight, and the whole game shifts. Instead, just go outside of the Roshan pit, catch them as they approach.
Lil, he catches Mastermind. He gets the silence off afterwards. He's got to get the roll, though. Troll, does he bash? Yes, he does. And
Lil Pleb immediately.
Pleb, he's trying. He does not connect on Lil with the roll. Actually warding himself, Anti-Mage. Take note, top players.
If he's stuck around for that range creep, he dies.
Yep. Good discipline
he could be greedy, but the range creep staying alive does mean they're going to be able to not worry about backdoor protection right away. Instead, they're going to have to blow the glyph. Look at them pinging. They know the AM. They actually have this really nice defensive ward around the triangle because they know that's where Lil Pleb wants to play the most, but they caught somebody.
Sunlight is in. He does have the BKB and the cheese, though, and he's not AA blasted, so he could cheese. Although the AA blast is coming in. Now you have to be really careful if you're Omegalil. It does connect with Sunlight. He takes a good amount of damage. I think if they just back off, though, it's not going to put him below. I mean, he's got to be, what, 250 HP right now if he wants to proc? I don't think that's going to happen.
Puber, I think, keeps on doing really clutch plays, whether with the Torrent or the X, and stopping TPs or catching people as Omegalil is trying to back out.
Yeah, they're doing a really good job. Cyberium, although they do catch out the AA here, who looks like he was walking in possibly to deward the triangle, but
yeah,
they're there. And they do actually catch the Anti-Mate, but this is a Pugna in an Earth Spirit. That is not enough.
I love that. Eul Scepter into another role. If only they had, well, just one more hero. Really, the Troll is what they need to be able to bring down this guy.
At this point, I think they literally need the Troll, or all of the other heroes minus the Troll. This is not going to kill him. There's zero way that he dies to these heroes. But it is pressure. It is getting him to leave the triangle. Mastermind catches the Troll. This means he can walk over and get the haste. No, Lil, he denies it. Says, I'm gonna be fast. Okay. God, sitting in base against... Sitting in base is not nice. Sam gets caught out. He gets Orchided. Nothing to take it off right now, so this damage, it'll be enough to proc him.
Still trying to build into that Eul Scepter because he cannot deal with the X silence combination. Hate playing against Kunkka in any sort of range silence. It is a death blow every single time.
Yep, catches onto Troll with a lot of spells, actually. The Stolen Torrent. Lil is in. That AA blast is pretty big, though. The boat looks like it's just bigger.
So close to taking him out, but now as the Ice Blast fades, they're going to be able to life drain him, heal him back up to full. Or actually, they gave him the cheese, so they didn't bother with the life drain. Nice
Torrent. Connects. Lots of damage from Rubik, but you do have the Pugna. Allied Suck to give some healing. Silence comes out on the Ember, just preventing a bit of that chip damage that he does on this defense. They really need to wait for Sam to be alive, I think, if they want to fight this. They need the Panga roll. He TP's in immediately, but they already lost the melee racks. And, okay, the Euls comes out into Torrent. Can you get the bash if you're Troll? That's the question. Lil Pleb on the backline. He catches out the Pugna. Doesn't have any detection, though. Oh, he does have detection on the Pangolier. Can't get the mana break off. Uses the Abyssal onto the Troll, but this is a Troll, man. He can just turn around and fight you. Sam is on the backlines. He's trying to fight. He's silenced up. I also see Lil is fighting Lil Pleb and Mastermind together. He's just 1v2ing the course, no problem. And he survives.
And he managed to get out. Oh.
Puber comes in. He jumps in onto the Troll. He does have BKB. He does have the Aegis. He does have Satanic when he respawns.
They have to just keep playing in and out. They know he still has his BKB, so they can't commit too much.
He doesn't want to commit his BKB to this, though. If he can get out without using it, means he can go back in and fight. It's a big deal. So they actually use the boat to try to protect him, as well as a Torrent onto Kellen. That was very nice from Sunlight. Unfortunately, it would look a lot cooler for him.
Yeah, if the AM or the Ember have blinked into it.
On the back. Can he get the Torrent follow-up? Nope, it is too hard.
Still got Manta.
Okay, nice. And he is just blinking out. That blink cooldown, very nice. As long as you don't go on top of the troll as anti-mage, I think this game is relatively free at this point in terms of not dying.
Yeah.
Killing the troll, that's a whole different problem altogether. But surviving, he can definitely do that as long as he avoids Kellen. But Kellen's he's got a BKB, he's got a Satanic.
This Lincoln is such a good choice from the Pugna, right? Because it protects him against the AEM even as he progresses in items. Because he has to stop the Mana Void. Early on, he's going to be able to do that. Eventually, the AM gets the Abyssal Blade, but as a result of opening up that Lincoln's, he misses out on his just clear stun Manta hits into stop, right? Into that Mana Void. So in that case, it means that Malik is going to be able to get off Glimmer Cape to Crabify, those sort of things that'll help just prolong his life against the AM.
So walking into the troll, not that great.
Okay.
Those odds, I think, were given how this game has been going. I know they don't change. But given how this game has been going, what do you think those odds should be? If you had to bet right now, who would you bet on?
I would.
Well, obviously, what would you think the odds?
Yeah. I would probably bet like 10 to 1.
10 to 1. I'm feeling that.
It's pretty extreme odds.
It's pretty hard. I mean, the draft alone.
It might even be worse than 10 to 1.
Maybe even worse now with AA getting picked off.
Yeah.
Pulled out of the base.
I think this is a near unwinnable position for Cyberium. We can see like a small way how they can win fights, but everything has to go perfect, right? They have to be able to jump the Pugna first for the AM. They have to be able to kite around the troll and never get caught by that bash, to be caught by that ensnare.
Low Pleb does do some pressuring on the bot lane, though. He blinks right into the troll. He's just going to get bashed. I feel like Troll can just BKB and kill him right now. 95 seconds on the sign. He does buy back. Mastermind going in. Troll has the ulti, so he walked into the tier 4s a bit there. Anti-Mage, I guess he felt like he needed to just die and buy back.
Oh, look at that. He put himself
spells
on the cliff, so he bounced over to the other side from the Rolling Thunder.
So Troll is taking a lot of damage on the side here. Anti-Mage, though, he's in. If he dies again, they just lose. I think it's over. 120 seconds. Mastermind, what can you do? You need to kill this entire enemy team. Pugna is dead for 100 seconds, so that is something. But now Mastermind is dead for 50 seconds. Not as bad as the Pugna or the Anti-Mage, but still 3 heroes alive. The 3 weakest heroes against all of the strong heroes on Omegalil, basically.
All right, now what do you think the odds are?
Oh, God.
10,000 to 1?
50.
100,000 to 1?
Trillion to 1. All right,
it's game
GG,
over.
Disconnected.
Omegalil?
Infinity to 1.
Great job. They managed to come back from like a really rough game 1, and I was a bit surprised because I thought Omegalil looked okay in the 2 games, I think, that I casted up them.